Oh man, here we go again. We got ourselves another Dragon Age the Veilguard, Assassin's Creed Shadows of Bound situation. We're gonna see it with the Outer Worlds 2 again, I guarantee it. They're desperately lying to you about Ghost of Yōtei sales. Yeah, man, I can tell. I can really tell when they're desperate whenever my timeline on every social media platform is just nothing but the game that they're really trying to get you to play. So let's just get into it from Hypnotic. This guy is based. I love Hypnotic. I watch his content every day. I try not to react to his content so much and all the other people that I react to, but sometimes I end up doing like daily reacts to certain people. I really try not to do that, but Hypnotic, I feel like me and Hypnotic pretty much align on everything about video games and entertainment. I don't know about politics. I don't care about politics. I am anti-politics. And that's why I'm completely out on all these games. All right, let's just get into it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about the fallout of Ghost of Yōtei. What are we talking about? Well, there is a current PR...
And I'm just going to say right now, the whole Charlie Kirk situation with the with one of the I don't know what you'd call it, but one of the people worked on this game, I think it was the voice actress, said stuff about Charlie Kirk. I give no shits. All I care about is the game. I don't care about the people who work on these games. I guarantee you, a bunch of people at studios that I actually do like, a bunch of people that work on games that I do like, are fucking retarded. So I don't care. A good game is a good game. But it's a 7 out of 10. I can see it from everybody who actually has real opinions who have played this. They say it's a 7 out of 10.
Storm that is happening right now for Ghost of Yōtei. There is an article that is being spread around on social media by every single shill account that is desperate to want to own the chuds, right? If you look over here on this particular article, Ghost of Yōtei has reportedly
reportedly, I love the language that they use. So if it comes out that it's wrong, then they could just say it was reported, that they didn't actually say it.
Sold over 1 million copies, selling faster than Ghost of Tsushima. Now, this came from a website called Tech for Gamers, right? Not exactly a website.
And that might be true, but Ghost of Tsushima, when it came out, was a new IP. So, of course, the sequel is gonna, even if it's like slightly worse, is gonna sell more. Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, I'm pretty sure sold more than Ratchet and Clank. I liked Ratchet and Clank more than Going Commando. Still a good game. But I'm pretty sure it sold more just because it was a sequel and Ratchet and Clank was a new IP at the time. And Up Your Arsenal sold more than Going Commando, but that was actually a fucking excellent game. 9.5 out of 10. It embarrasses modern games, especially the fact that it's got skins and stuff in it and extras that came with the game. You don't have to pay extra for them. If it would have come out today, you would have had to pay for those skins.
I visit very often. So when I see a website like this post an article like this, I'm thinking to myself, well, that's highly sus, right? It's almost a little bit too convenient. And if you look at the title, they are very...
It's funny how every fucking time with these games, all the same people come out and say the same shit. And they all just like parrot the same talking points.
Clearly wanting to send a message, right? Everybody wants to be able to say that this game sold faster than Ghost of Tsushima. I even predicted many months ago that this was going to be their course of action when Yotei came out.
Yep, it's what I'm talking about, man. I predicted this also. Didn't see anybody else say anything because we already know. We already know. It happens every single time. Remember, 7 out of 10. Too much water.
Out because of course it is, right? Look at what happened with Assassin's Creed Shadows. They did the same exact thing. They wanted to run the story about how Assassin's Creed Shadows was the #1 selling Assassin's Creed out of the entire series except for Valhalla. Apparently they couldn't beat Valhalla enough, I suppose, but they're doing the same thing here with Ghost of Yōtei. But here's the difference. This is not Sony doing it. This is not PlayStation doing it. This is a random fucking website that's doing it. And here's why. Because they want to be the first one that is going to be in the algorithm reporting 1 million copies sold, so that when the game eventually does surpass 1 million copies sold and PlayStation announces it officially, they could be the one that everybody cites as the source of the 1 million copies sold. This is the reason why they do it, even though right now It's bullshit. So in any case, I made this post over on X, and I'm going to read to you in its entirety because it pretty much summarizes what I'm saying. And then we're going to go over the article itself. We got screenshots that we're going to go over showcasing how ridiculous this is. And wait till you find out what the source of this information is. Wait till you find out where this 1 million copies sold number came from, because we all know there is no official.
I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction for the third one, for the third Ghost game. I think that they're going to release it. I think they're going to launch it on Steam. I might be wrong about this, but I think they're going to launch it on Steam, and then they're going to be like, this is the biggest launch title from the Ghost series on Steam. Even though it's the only one, because they keep doing that.
Source of any numbers. We are still, till this day, waiting to find out what the official source numbers are for Assassin's Creed Shadow sales. We don't have it. All we have is a promise from Circana that Assassin's Creed Shadows was totally the #2 selling game.
Yeah, #2 selling game. Let's check out the numbers, how it's doing on Steam right now. It's got 7,000 players right now. 7,000 players. Not bad. I mean, it's not a bad game or anything. When did this game come out? Best-selling Assassin's Creed of all time. It's the best Assassin's Creed. It's only got 1,000 more than Odyssey. That's crazy, right? Best-selling Assassin's Creed. Can't even actually beat Odyssey. This game is old. But it has surpassed Valhalla, apparently. Crazy. Crazy. Greatest Assassin's Creed of all time. It's got 7,000 players on Steam right now. And I wonder how much of that is fudged.
The entire country for the entire year, but they don't tell you the exact number, but they'll tell you numbers for other games. Keep this in mind as we continue this story. So I said the PR storm is out in full effect for Ghost of Yōtei. I'm honestly shocked that it's happening so fast, but the level of nonsense that we are seeing is through the roof.
It's going to get much worse for other games that are coming out. Like, they're going to keep doing this, and they're going to keep making it worse.
This is the article that is currently being thrown around right now, trying to quickly shift the narrative of Yotei in its favor as soon as possible. They claim that the game has sold over 1 million copies, conveniently just barely passing Tsushima's original number on day one. Now, reason why I say it's convenient is because, quite frankly, it is, right? They want this game to beat Tsushima because everybody was questioning not whether or not the game was going to sell well. I always knew that the game was going to sell decent.
Yep.
My question was two things. Number one
for me, what's the player retention going to be like for one of the greatest games of all time?
Is it going to sell as good as Tsushima? And number two, is it going to sell well in Japan? Because Tsushima set records in Japan. Over 200,000 physical copies sold within 1 week of the first week of the game being out. It set records for Western games in Japan. It was unheard of. So I'd be very curious to see whether or not Yotei follows that same exact, trajectory. But I highly doubt it. In any case, in this article, they claim that Yotei's loved more than Tsushima, and that community sentiment is strong, essentially. Now, guys, I don't know how, like, the average playtime right now.
The community sentiment of people that they agree with is strong. The people that I know who like Tsushima don't like this game very much. They recognize, like, I have a couple of friends who have played it. One of those two friends legitimately refunded it because they were just like, why? I'll just go back and play Tsushima. It's the same thing, but worse. They tweaked some things, made it better, but in certain areas, it's boring. That's not my words. That was his words. And the other friend played it too long, so he couldn't refund it. But he's saying the same shit.
Now for Yotei, it's probably like 3 hours.
Oh, Fables, oh, you ever played it? Oh, you're saying your friend, blah, 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 blah. Where's the source? You're lying. I don't give a shit.
How are you going to make this entire article and make...
That's how you know I'm not lying, too, because, like, I don't give a shit.
This claim that Yotei is loved more than Tsushima. I'm not even kidding. I'll show you the screenshot. Here it is. As of 2024, Ghost of Tsushima has sold over 13 million copies, which is decent number for an exclusive title. But in that time frame, it is also released on PC. The general response towards Yotei is more positive, hinting at good things to come. It's more positive, ladies and gentlemen, towards Yotei. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know what they're reading, but here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? If you are a sequel to a video game that was a brand new IP. It was an original IP at the time. It had no history behind it. It had absolutely nothing behind it.
Here's what's happening. So they're over on Threads. They're over on Threads, and they've got somebody that's curating the replies on Threads, and then the person who writes the articles for the company looks at everything after everything's already been removed, and they're like, oh, look at the community sentiment. Everybody's saying that Tsushima is not as good as Yotei. That's what I literally fucking saw it happening on Threads. It's fucking insane. Because I'm over on Threads. I know where they're getting all of this shit.
It was a new IP. If you sell the same amount of copies with the sequel as you did with the brand new IP, I feel like that is lackluster, in my opinion. I really do. I feel like that's lackluster. All that tells me is that you just clearly didn't grow your audience over time. You probably even lost your audience over time, but there is enough people there to buy the sequel to match the numbers of the brand new IP when it came out, right? It just...
Yeah, the next sequel that's going to come out, it's going to be even worse, but somehow everybody's going to be saying, oh, it's so much better than the other two. And that's how this company's going to end up being like, well, we're going to divest and we're going to sell a portion of the company to this bigger company. I could see Saudi Arabia buying up this one.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. But in any case, let's continue. So who is their source for this information? Well, it's a random tweet from an account with less than 10,000 followers.
That's how it is every time, dude.
What is that account source? Well, it's Trust Me Bro. Now, who are they sourcing? This is the account right here. It's an account called Millie A, who claims to be an insider in the gaming industry with less than 10.
Yeah, nobody knows what the sales are. It might be bigger than this, by the way. It could be bigger. But this is what everybody's saying, so they don't have to take accountability. I'm hearing 1.3 million sold on first day for Yotei. I'm hearing these things. People are telling me this. Who? Where?
1,000 followers on X, right? It says hearing 1.3 million sold on the first day for Yotei, ever so slightly ahead of Tsushima's first 24 hours of 1.25 million. Tsushima kept pace on its second day with another 1.15 million sold. Can Yotei keep up? Question mark. Guys,
you need to go check out Threads. I'm telling you, go check out Threads and see what they're saying about it, because it's so fucking crazy.
Oh my God, bro. This thing has 784 views. They wrote an entire article claiming 1 million copies sold on a tweet with 784 views. I mean, what the fuck are we doing, bro? What are we doing at this point? You might as well have used
lying,
Reddit.
Manipulating.
Sincerely, you might as well have used Reddit at that point. But in any case,
you might as well have just used AI at this point.
So you have accounts already spamming X, sourcing this one article as a massive win for Yotei, which, to be fair, was expected. These accounts do the same thing with every single controversial game, and yet 95% of the games they do this for, they always end up failing, resulting in layoffs, or even worse, studio closures.
But Hypnotic, they're profitable. They make profit. They're not looking for profit. They're looking for an exponential growth. They're not looking for profit. They can't just profit. They have to do 10 times more sales than the last one, because they have to keep growing, getting bigger and bigger, making bigger and bigger things than the last one, spending more and more money. And it's unsustainable.
But hey, as long as you get to have the perception of dunking on the chuds, I guess that's all that matters.
The budget for Ghost of Tsushima was $60 million. $60 million. It's notably low compared to other AAA titles, true, which such as God of War Ragnarok, which reportedly cost over $200 million to develop. And that's why they put it on every platform, because nobody bought it. Nobody I know bought it. And my friends are hardcore gamers and have been for years. Usually, they buy every AAA game. Ever since COVID, it's not been like that. Now they just play Game Pass, and then every once in a while buy a game. And the budget for Ghost of Yōtei is reported to be approximately $60 million. I'll give it to them that they didn't, like, make it $300 million, but that's still a lot of money. And this probably is something to do with why a lot of people are saying it's basically the same game. It's like they took Ghost of Yōtei, replaced the main character with a woman, an ugly woman, and then they made some of the mechanics better, and some of them were worse. Like, I'm hearing that the weapons and stuff are pretty much the same. Like, there's not a difference. Like, it's still basically the same unlockables as Ghosts of Tsushima. I don't know. If you've played it, tell me if I'm wrong or right. Which, this is not good. For a AAA studio to spend the same amount of money that they did on the last one. And I know I say that, like, $300 million and the next one's got to be $500 million. They're expecting to make more. And if they don't, guess what? The next one's going to be $200 million. It's my prediction.
Ghost of Yōtei was always going to survive off the back of Tsushima and sell copies.
Yep.
I'm extremely curious to see how this game performs in Japan personally, as Tsushima
It literally has to sell more. It has to.
Set records in Japan for a Western game or even games in general. This game will obviously sell over 1 million copies pretty early on, but to claim it this soon and to use this level of sourcing just shows me that it hasn't happened yet and that they want everyone to quickly believe that it has, because this game's message means more to them than anything else. Fake it until you make it. So here's what I'm going to tell you. There's been no official announcement.
Oh, by the way, the budget being the same, that's not including the current money that they're spending on marketing. That's only what they use to develop it and then the marketing leading up to release. I wonder how much money they're going to spend to save face for this game, to push it out to the masses.
Sony or PlayStation quite yet. That is major sus, in my opinion, because keep in mind, every single studio, every single company wants to post on social media immediately the moment they cross any kind of sales goal. They immediately want to do it. You want to know the reason why they're not doing it? Is because unlike Game Pass or unlike Ubisoft, with players engaged, right? Unlike Ubisoft, PlayStation doesn't have that. PlayStation doesn't have players engaged. They're not releasing this game day one on their PS Plus platform. They're not doing that, right? You have to sell copies. You have to sell the game. So the reason why they're not reporting it is because they can't flat out lie about it. They have to tell you exactly how many copies they sold, because any statement they make publicly has to be true to some extent. Otherwise, their shareholders can get them real bad for it. So you can't openly lie about sales. You can't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Shareholders. That's the problem right there. Shareholders. This has to be way more successful. It can't be barely more successful. It has to be exponentially successful, especially with the fact that they spent the same amount of money. Like, holy shit. Like, you probably should have spent more than 60 million to create the game, because it's the same as the first one, apparently. I'm not going to play it. I didn't play the first one either.
2 million copies and you only sold 800,000. You can't do that, because the shareholders are going to be like, well, you told us you said publicly 2 million. Where's the 2 million? You can't do that. PlayStation doesn't have that option. So my thing is, if they sold 1 million copies in the first day, they would have announced it today. They would have announced it today. They would not be waiting. They cannot wait. You mean to tell me Sucker Punch, the people who are openly celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk and attacking gamers left and right, that have people who are working for them that apparently are part of Antifa, Sucker Punch. You mean to tell me Sucker Punch is not going to want to celebrate 1 million copies sold in 24 hours? Of course they're going to want to celebrate it. They will be talking about it immediately. But the fact that they're not tells me that they have not hit that yet. And also keep in mind, guys, even if they sold 1 million copies, that is always including the copies they sold to retailers at wholesale. So whatever they sold to GameStop, whatever they sold to Amazon, whatever they sold to all these companies that sell video games for them, that is included in their 1 million copies sold. If they're honest, they will tell you 1 million copies shipped, but they're not going to do that, right? Expedition 33 was honest. When they said they sold 1 million copies, they made sure to tell you that that was including copies shipped. I highly doubt that Sucker Punch is going to do the same, right? So we're going to find out and we're going to see. But I have one more part of the screenshot that I want to showcase to you really quick. Again, these are just comments that I'm getting from people. This person says, yeah, sure. Basically responding to...
Dude, does anybody know anybody playing this? I don't know anybody playing this. other than my two friends that one of them refunded it and the other one was too late to refund it. And all of my other friends, they don't know what's going on with this game. They don't even give a shit. It didn't capture them. And it should have, because they like old school Assassin's Creed games.
To my thread, and they quote this. It's like, bro, if you're gonna quote this, at least look into it. At least read this. I understand you don't like me, you hate me for whatever reason. That's fine. You're allowed to hate me. But goddamn, bro, at least read into it and understand what you're quoting with your entire chest and making it seem like you know what you're talking about, bro. What are you talking about? You're quoting somebody who's using a tweet that's got 784 views. What are we doing here?
Yeah, and he's only bringing up a couple of cases. Dude, I'm seeing it everywhere. Yeah, here's one. Played first 2 hours of Ghost of Yōtei. Moment of silence for this level of perfection in a video game. You played it for 2 hours. How do you know? How do you know? I played Ratchet and Clank all the way through, and it was perfect until I got to one part and everything got fucked up. You're saying it's perfect. It's so much cope. Oh my god! Ghost of Yōtei is a work of art. Imagine not playing this right now because of woke or some other insane reason. There's a million reasons why I'm not playing this game. None of it really, like, what is this? I don't care about this. What kind of mini game is this? This is like some Assassin's Creed Shadows bullshit. Oh, you could pet the fox. You could pet the fox. From Naughty Dog. Congratulations to the entire team at Sucker Punch on the launch of Ghost of Yōtei. We're so excited to experience this beautiful new journey. This one's good. Ghost of Yōtei is just a sequel to The Last of Us 2, really. A very angry lesbian 2. Damn, the character in Ghost of Yōtei is really, really ugly. How about that? Calling Ghost of Yōtei woke, but ignoring there's a canonically lesbian character in Tsushima. Tell me you don't get it without telling me you don't get it. We don't care about gay. We don't care about lesbian. We care about good game. And we care about what people are saying about the game being good or not. And sure, 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10 game. We rarely get perfect games, but everybody's acting like this game is fucking perfect. 10 out of 10. Return to form, even better than the last one, actually. See, this is a real take. Played like 4 hours of Ghost of Yōtei today. The game is aggressively mid. Story is alright. Nothing outstanding so far. Average revenge plot. And honestly, I don't want to play a revenge plot. I don't want to play as a character who's seeking revenge. And they act like it's a good thing. The combat wants to be a duel, where you are able to strike, block, and parry, and can learn even more things throughout the game. You get dual katanas very early on, with an option to swap between 1 blade and 2 blades. But the game forces you which weapon to use against which enemy weapon. The game has way too many gimmicks and mini games. Yup, that was a complaint that I knew it was going to do that. Because that's just the thing that they put in woke games. And I'm not saying really that this is a woke game. It's just same thing with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, they put in these mini games because they're fun. Just focus on the main game, man. You're wasting time and money by putting bullshit in there that nobody cares about. The game has way too many gimmicks and mini games that seemingly are only there to show you what your PS5 controller can do and to artificially inflate the time you spend in the game. Instead of feeling immersed, it's unnecessary and a literal waste of time. For example, when camping in the open world, you have to start up your own fire by swiping up many times and hitting R2 over and over again. Why? Why, when you set up your camp, you have to do that? Just set up the camp like in Tomb Raider or something. Or like, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption? That game's old as fuck. You have to cook your food by using the gyroscope of the controller and physically moving it down. Legend of Zelda figured this out. You go up to it, you throw the food in, boop, 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 boop. It's done. Sure, cute gimmick, but no actual purpose was served, and having to do this every single time is just a waste of time. $80 for this is a waste. Do not spend your money on this. Don't even buy it on sale. I'll just replay the original. That's probably what I would do, but I'm still not going to play the original. And I used to love Sucker Punch. I love the Sly Cooper games. And I will admit that the art is fantastic, but it's just a cover for it being a mid game. And I think a lot of people are saying it's perfection because of the way it looks. And they do this so much with games.
What are we doing here? So in any case, ladies and gentlemen, one thing is, Ahmad, shout out to Ahmad. I was talking to him on X. He says, I know PSN Profiles is an opt-in website, but we can compare the numbers. Now, here's why I don't like showcasing PSN Profiles. 2 reasons, okay? Number 1 is because right now the game is fresh and most people haven't added it to their account. That's just being honest, okay? Number 2, it's an opt-in service. So you have to opt in order for it to be showcased on PSN Profiles. They're not pulling the information from PlayStation. They're pulling it from you opting in. So the amount of people that are on PSN Profiles is people who have opted in for it, right? But even so, looking at the numbers, this game has also been out for a long time, right? Ghost of Tsushima has been out for a long time. Yotei's been out for only 24 hours. So it being at 11,000 game owners and Tsushima being at 337,000, that's really not saying much because they've had a lot more time for people to buy the game. And
dude, I already know I'm gonna get so many comments, man, that are saying like, why are you hating so much? Oh, this is cope. This is cope, you chud. You're the one coping. I've been saying the whole time this is gonna sell well. It's not a bad game. It's gonna be above mid. It's a good game. But they're blowing smoke up our asses, saying it's a 10 out of 10 perfect game. And if you don't agree that it's a 10 out of 10 perfect game, these freaks are going to say that you're just hating.
Added to their profile. Just being real with you. So I don't like using PSN Profiles personally, but it is funny to dunk on it, obviously. It is funny to see the number difference right now at the current time. So we're going to see what ends up happening with Ghost of Yōtei.
Oh, Fables, you're just rage baiting. You're just rage baiting. You weren't going to buy any of these games anyway. Sure, you may be right. I wasn't going to buy these games. Sure, I may be rage baiting. But I'm saying how I feel and what I think. And, like, I want to be in on these AAA games. I want them to take my money. But I'm not going to give my hard-earned money to a game that's a 7 out of 10 that they're trying to fake is a 10 out of 10. Also, has some woke shit in it. The character is ugly. The people who made the game are garbage. And it's $90, not $80. It is not $80. It's $90. It's $80 plus tax. We have tax here. And people don't ever include the tax for some reason because they're like, oh, that's not actually part of the price of the game. That's what you're paying for the game, so yes, it fucking is. No, thank you. $30 game at best.
I'm just waiting for the official announcement from PlayStation and Sucker Punch that they pass 1 million copies sold. That way, we all know it's coming. Like, I already know that it's coming, but to see people try to jump the gun like this and try to make it seem as if it happened now when it clearly didn't because the main companies haven't even announced it tells me everything I need to know about the message and how important it is for Yotei, for these people who are shills who want to own the chuds, right? This game is super important to them. The message is super important to them. They only succeed when they latch on to previous games that already have a major fan base, because we all know not a single one of them are playing Reloaded right now, right? They want to talk about these games that are diverse, equity, and inclusion, all that stuff, but not a single fucking one of them are playing Reloaded. That game has one person playing the demo right now, and that's it, if they're lucky. It's an absolute joke. So in any case, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this article? What do you think about the gaslighting? What do you think about all of this fake fucking news that's coming out right now about Yotei?
Saw it coming. Saw it coming. I knew it was going to happen. It literally, I predicted this to a T. I said that it was going to be a good game. And it's probably going to sell as much or more copies. And we're going to see people saying, it's a 10 out of 10. So many copies sold, more than the last one, before it's even official. Literally, go back and you can see that I said this shit. And we've all been saying it. Because it happens every time. It's so predictable. These people are fucking retarded. And if they just could keep their mouths shut, nobody would care. These people, they need to learn to keep their fucking mouths shut. The developers need to shut the fuck up and just make their game. The voice actors need to shut the fuck up, just make their game. Don't get into politics. If your thing has nothing to do with politics, don't talk about politics. And all the people online who are blowing smoke, same thing. It's a fucking game. Who cares, man? Everybody's trying to make it a big deal. And it's not. It's just a fucking decent game. I don't know. Trying to act like it's breaking records, greatest thing of all time. And they do it with fucking everything. And you know what it's for. It's for clicks. It's for clicks and engagement. Now see you in the next one.